and doing it properly. And fortunately, that's what I did. I decided, right, last ditch attempt. I'm going to sort this out. Got to make this work. And so I went and found myself some trading mentors, which is another story, and there's a bit of that on the website. But to cut that long story short, I found some professional traders and persuaded them to let me follow them for a while, and I learned from them. And it was watching them that I realised, of course, that the real secret to trading is to have one strategy and to stick to it, and to actually put in the effort to make it work, and not get sidetracked, not spend all my time in forums, looking at other people's strategies, thinking, yeah, that looks excellent, I'm going to try that one next. But to really just knuckle down, and like learning any new skill, it takes time and effort and discipline. So, as I say, back to basics. We need to remember what's really important. A lot of people concentrate too much on technical details and entry points and exit points and indicators and all sorts of things, and it ain't really about that. It's about having a strategy, what works. In fact, it's about two things, and I call this the yin and the yang of trading. And the two things, you only need to really concentrate on two things to be profitable. The first is you need a positive expectancy strategy. So what do I mean by that? I mean a strategy that over the long term you expect on average will make more money than it loses. And of course, this is where grail hunters such as myself in my early days of trading go wrong. They don't trade the strategy for long enough for it to see out that positive expectancy over time. As soon as it starts losing money, then they jump to the next one, and that can never work. You can, over the long term, you can never make a profit that way. So you need a positive expectancy strategy, and you can either make up your own, or you can copy someone else's. You can go out and buy one. I mean, there's trading strategies all over the place. That's really the easy bit. What's much more difficult is the second part, and that is the discipline to follow the strategy. This is what I term the head stuff, getting your head in the right place to be able to pull the trigger when the strategy says, no, you've got to go long, got to go short, got to buy, sell, whatever the strategy is telling you. You've got to have the mental fortitude to follow through and actually do it. And this is really difficult. This is much more difficult than most people realise. Certainly I never understood that when I first started out. I thought the difficult thing would be learning what to actually do, and to be honest, that ain't that hard. As I say, there's strategies all over the place. What's much more difficult is getting your head in the right place and being able to pull the trigger when the strategy says so. And those two elements of trading probably are about 50-50 in my opinion, of in terms of importance and profitability. You can't have one without the other. That's why it's the yin and the yang of the trading. They're intertwined, they're interdependent, and it's no good having a strategy if you haven't got discipline to trade it. At the same time, you could be the most disciplined person in the world, strongest person mentally in the world, but unless you've got a decent strategy to trade, that ain't going to get you anywhere. So you've got to have both of them, and throughout these video podcasts I'm going to be talking about different elements, both elements of that. But for starters, we're going to start with the strategy, because I know that's what most people want to hear about, and we'll come back to the head stuff and the discipline a bit later on. So looking at the strategy itself, there's only three ways what you can make money from trading, and those ways are: number one, either you can win more often than you lose, which is pretty obvious. If you have more winning trades than losing trades, then all things being equal, you should end up making more money than you lose over time. Second way is you can win bigger than you lose. If you have two trades what win you $1,000 each, so you win $2,000, and 10 trades what lose you $100 each, so you lose $1,000, well, you end up net $1,000. So even though you lost 5 times more trades than what you won, you still made money, and that's because you won bigger than you lost. So you can either win more often than you lose, or win bigger than you lose, or the third way, of course, is to do both. And that's the preferred method, and that's certainly what I like to do, is try and win bigger and more often than I lose. So with that said, three seems to be a rule of trading. Actually, there's three ways to make money, and there's three things what you need in a trading strategy to make money. And those three things I call the 3 points of the trading triangle. That's my little trading triangle. If you've read my How to Make More Money report, then you'll be familiar with this diagram and you'll know what all of this means. But I think that's probably quite long enough for this first video, and rather than rush through that, what I'm going to do is talk more about the trading triangle and what each of the 3 points of the trading triangle mean, and why it's so important to understand these three elements of making money. So that's it for this video. Have another one for you very soon, and of course that will be in iTunes before it comes out anywhere else. But it will be on the blog if for any reason you don't want to use iTunes. Alright, do get in touch and let us know what you think. As I say, I've got a lot of ground to cover in these new format of videos, and I will still produce the odd live trading video every now and then as well, because I know people do like them. But apart from that, this format's quite open, and doing videos like this gives me the opportunity to talk about all sorts of things. So if there's popular topics what you want me to talk about, then I'll be able to fit those in quite easily for you. Okay, speak to you again soon.